Hey, what is up guys? My name is Kyle and welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be talking about 5 things Fallout 4 actually does that makes it better than Skyrim. Yeah, I know, I get it. Elder Scrolls community, don't hate me yet. The Elder Scrolls and the Fallout communities have been fighting forever over which one is better. So today I actually brought along some help, and we worked together on not only on this video, but a video on his channel of the counter argument to this video, which is 5 things that Skyrim does better than Fallout 4. Brad?
Hey everyone, how's it going? My YouTube name is Betabradtv, and first of all, thank you KZ for having me on the show. It is a pleasure being here, super excited for this video, and if you guys want to see the other part to this video series me and KZ did, then make sure to check it out on my channel where we will talk about the opposite, being the 5 things that Skyrim does better than Fallout 4. A link for that video will be in the description of this video, but for now, on to this topic. Let's get it started.
Alright guys, getting straight into the video, starting us off at the number 5 spot is a voice protagonist. And the thing about a voice protagonist, I'm sure, is like all of you thought of this right away, especially if you love Skyrim, an Elder Scrolls game. You thought, okay, no, we don't like a voice protagonist. We want to think of it our own way, think of our own tone, be imaginative, be creative, and man, I feel you. I loved doing that in Elder Scrolls games and even in previous Fallout games, especially in Skyrim. I loved doing that in Skyrim because I feel like the voice lines were written really well. But the thing is, for this game, it just fit perfectly. I loved it so much because it was so innovative, and to really capture that emotion, I feel like this was one of the most emotional Bethesda games, in my opinion. The main story was, so they really needed to add this in, and I really liked it. I think the male's performance was like superb, amazing. The female's performance, in my opinion, wasn't as convincing, it wasn't as good, but it was still pretty solid. And this was just a really big step for Bethesda, and I do hope in other future titles, maybe even Elder Scrolls, but especially Fallout 76, that this would be more of an option. You know, I like it there, but I do think people should have the right to choose not to have it if they want to make it up themselves in their head. So I think it should be an option, but was definitely done very well in Fallout 4.
So another thing that Fallout 4 does better than Skyrim is the new survival mode that they introduced. So what this mode was essentially a hard mode that was introduced, which is a new and innovative way to challenge players. Now in Fallout 4, you get a lot of cool guns, a lot of things to just blow stuff up. And with this hard mode, it kind of removes the threat that you impose in normal difficulty with all these things. This removes the feeling of being like the most powerful thing in this universe and just kind of gives you a new perspective on this game overall. Like, don't get me wrong, Skyrim, it's a challenging game in and of itself, but it has nothing like this in comparison. Honestly, they went all out with making changes to kind of create this new mode. For example, now you can only save when you sleep in a bed for a while. There's stronger enemies, of course, and now you can also experience illness as well as fatigue, so big changes as far as gameplay concerned, and it was just a really cool, nice feature to have for more experienced players.
Now number 3 on today's list, guys, is Sediment Building. And yes, first of all, I want to say it is possible to build your house, to own your own land in Skyrim in the Hearthfire DLC, which is very fun. I did that. You can get your own kid, you can have a wife, well, you could have a wife before. You can adopt a kid, and it's really fun to have like your own setup there. It's really cool. It is done very well. The thing about Fallout 4 is it's taken to the next level. It is much more expansive, and it's addictive and fun. It's like its own minigame, and I think that this would be something done that could be utilized very well in Elder Scrolls. I'm hoping in Elder Scrolls 6 they add something like this, where you can kind of like Hearthfire, but a little bit more in depth, like the settlement building was in Fallout 4. I think in Fallout 76 this is going to be a huge step. This is going to be a main priority of the game, is to build up your own base and your settlement, especially since it's like an online experience. And I just think that like for Fallout 4, it was the biggest step they could have taken, because it introduced something that kept you playing beyond the base game. Besides obviously DLC, it kept you playing. It was something to do. To operate those settlements at first seems very boring, but trust me, I tried it out, and after doing it for a while, you get addicted to it. It's so fun to build and to have these great communities that you can form, especially online. I think that's going to be really fun in Fallout 76, and I really hope that they do that in a future Elder Scrolls game. Again, Hearthfire was fun, but it was like a one and done type of thing. I hope you can build your own forts, your own bases. I really hope they take this to the next level in Elder Scrolls 6 and in Fallout 76. But as far as Fallout 4 and Skyrim, yeah, Fallout 4 did it a lot better. So it comes in at the number 3 spot.
So the next point that we have here is the companions in Fallout 4, which are so much more fleshed out than in Skyrim. Like, these companions were cool. They had really detailed and rich personalities. Well, for the most part anyways.
Got word of a settlement that needs our help. We've got to show people the Minutemen can really help them.
And just added to the adventure, making it a much more immersive and cool experience. And compare that to Skyrim's companions, where they're mainly just servants that just do what you do for very short side quests. The one exception to this, however, is Serana in the Dawnguard DLC, but other than that, they are kind of generic. Also, Fallout 4, you got a dog as a companion. I mean, who would not want that in a video game? Dogs in general are cool. Video game dogs are even better. Maybe. It's debatable. They're both really awesome. That's the point I'm getting at. Okay, Fallout 4, great companions.
Finally, guys, coming in at the number 1 spot is its DLC.
What did you say?
Kidding, calm down, don't freak out, nothing's gonna be Dawnguard. No, that was my favorite. Yeah, I'm just kidding. Number 1 is actually the main story. Now, the main story of Fallout 4 is emotional, it's expansive, it's awesome, guys. It is the best main story in my opinion. Well, I don't know, Oblivion's is pretty good, but it's the best they've had in a long time in Bethesda. Now, don't get me wrong, Skyrim's is great. Skyrim's is, I don't know, I feel like it's less their main story is less about the Dragonborn. I don't know, I don't really know how to explain it, but it's not personal to him. You don't really care what happens to any of the characters, if that makes sense. There's no one you really care about. In the Dragonborn, you break out of prison and then they like call you to be Dragonborn because you're absorbing souls, and he just like, yup, whatever, just leaves his life to go do it. And it's like, he didn't really have much of a life. I mean, he was a prisoner, so he doesn't really have much going for him right now. But at the same time, it just kind of uproots everything, and you just decide to become the Dragonborn. And yeah, it's fun, and it's really interesting with the Greybeards and Parthenax. Guys, if you kill Parthenax, I'm gonna come get you. Don't kill Parthenax. Guys, it was really interesting, like with the dragons and the lore and the blades and everything, and especially going up to Sovngarde. It was definitely really cool, but when you go to Fallout 4, you get so immersed in it. So many people play the Fallout 4 main story in like a day or two, because you start it and you care. You want to find Sean. You're emotional because your wife just got murdered. You just met Nora, okay? You just saw her in the wind, in the mirror, like making her look however you wanted her, I guess, if you customized her. And now she's dead, and you still feel emotionally attached to your family. And now they're gone, you have to find them. And then it turns out, spoiler alert, turn it off if you don't know, I mean, it's been out for a while, that Sean has actually gotten older and you've been frozen for like 200 years. It's so much more emotional and in depth. And also, all the factions revolve around the main story. Now, whether or not you like that is up to you, but it is really cool because in Skyrim, you know, you have like the Thieves Guild, the Dark Brotherhood, and they kind of interact with it. You know, they have a history, but they don't really play too much of an impact on the main story of the Dragonborn. Especially, like, they're cool, you know, the Companions, Dark Brotherhood, the Thieves Guild, and their quests by themselves are amazing. I do think that their individual quests are better than the factions in Fallout 4's are, but when they connect to the main story like that, and they all have a clear purpose and goal and belief, guys, the main story of Fallout 4, in my opinion, is far superb to Skyrim, so it does come in at the number 1 spot. Well, that is today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know if you enjoyed. I really appreciate that stuff. And also, go check out Betabradt's channel that helped me on this video. We have a video up on his channel of the 5 things Skyrim does better than Fallout 4. So if you're an Elder Scrolls fan, or you just want to hear the other side of the argument, go check him out, guys. The link will be in the description. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out, and God bless.